Give me a second. My dog barking. Hold on. Give me a second.
Ugh. I didn't even know you. I didn't even know you had a dog. I'm more of a cat person. Here's the thing. This is why though, since I got the room to myself, more of a cat person because I don't want to walk no dog out at 6 o'clock in the morning. Like I'm still asleep. Why aren't you asleep? You know, cats they just go to the litter box. They shit in the litter box. They wash themselves, but you still gotta wash them. I got carpet. So I'm be mad if a dog just randomly shit on my carpet. But at the same time, if the dog shit on my carpet, it's because I didn't take it outside. So that's kind of my fault for being lazy. So to avoid all of that, I should try to get a cat.
Are you going over lines?
No, I was talking to myself because you got a dog. I was taking advantage of the free camera time. Because you said you had a dog, so I'm saying why I wouldn't get a dog, but I get why I would get a dog. What lines? I ain't got no lines to go over.
I was like, "What are you doing?" I mean, you might have wrote something. I don't know.
That's funny. Like, like I'm gonna practice.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of VPN Chat. It's your boy Carlton, and I am here with actor, director, producer Michael Mykkel. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man?
Nothing
I
much.
appreciate
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for closing out 2024. I definitely appreciate you for taking the time to talk with me today. Um, and I want to get started with a gripe that I have with you. And I want to let the
it.
world know because Michael Mykkel fussed at me for not saying his full name, but he be showing favoritism to everybody else. People that he's known. I've known Michael Mykkel longer than most of these people, and Michael Mykkel will fuss at me for not saying his full name, but everybody else can call him Michael, Mike, and all this other stuff, and he don't say nothing. So I just want to put that gripe out there as we start because I'm like, sir, like he snapped at me one time. I was like, what's going on?
Like I say something to other people sometimes too. They be like, "What's up, Mike?" And I'm like, "Oh, I absolutely hate the name Mike." And there's no reason why I hate it. I just don't like it.
No, I understand. I feel it. I mean, I'm obviously people. I'm not really upset. I obviously wanted to share that because he did like it was that one. Like he literally was like every time I had said I didn't even call you Mike. I called you Michael. I think, and it was quick because I was trying to direct 50 million people. He was like, it's Michael Michael. I was like, sir, not in this moment, please, not right now. But no, I feel you though.
It's like double M.
I don't like when people call me Carl, so I definitely feel you 1,000%. And I
You
just,
know what? I
huh?
never called you Carl. I always say KC.
That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Casey's fine. Carl, no, please, like it's like I be trying to figure out how to let people know that I don't like it. Like I
Yeah.
be because without coming off rude, I don't want to be like, hey, don't call me that. You know what I'm saying? I just that I was trying to be like I try to like maybe hesitate in responding, and maybe they'll pick
Yeah.
up like, hey, maybe I shouldn't call him Carl, but no, I've never called you Mike. I wouldn't do that unless you like I said, unless you gave me special permission to call you by whatever. Um, but no, I just want to bring that up. How you just snapped at me that one day. I was just like, oh,
That's funny.
sir.
I don't even remember it either. That's the thing.
And the funny thing is, I think like somebody like right after I did it, somebody else had called you something. You said absolutely nothing, and I was like, really?
I don't even
I think
remember
we were
that, but
shooting.
that
I think
sounds
we
like
were
me.
shooting Bondage. I think that's when it happened. We were shooting season 3 of Bondage, and I
Ooh.
was like, this character.
Well, I got to remember who else called me that so I could curse them out before the end of the year.
Yikes.
Like I owe them one. Like, hey, I let you slide back in 2019. I got to get you for that.
um. So, How did you get started? Like, what piqued your interest into become wanting to become an actor?
So my journey goes back to 2000, maybe 12-ish. No, maybe before that, 2011, somewhere around there. I was still in Milwaukee, and I was working at a casino call center. And for people who lose their money, they try to curse somebody out or blame the person. I get those calls. So
Mm,
I had a lot of free time, so I started writing scripts. And to speed this story up, I couldn't find no actors at that time. Like everybody I was reaching out to, nobody wanted to act, at least not the group of people I knew. Um, so then at that time, I started to do like self learning acting, like on YouTube and all of that, because I didn't know nothing about acting classes or anything like that. So I started to self teach myself, and you get the basics, but you don't get everything you need. So that's really where it started from. I just couldn't find no actors for stuff I wanted to write. So then I started to do the workshops when I moved to South Carolina. I started going to Charlotte for the workshops, and now I'm currently enrolled at USC as theater is my major. So it
what
just
made
started that way. I just couldn't find no actors, so I
yeah
gotta do it
what
myself.
what made you move down south, like down here?
I needed a change for starters. I wanted to get to Atlanta because Atlanta was where the acting marketing was at. And at the time before I was married, I was in a long distance relationship and she lived here. So it kind of made sense to move here. And Atlanta was like 2, 3 hours away. So like, oh, I would just go to Atlanta and get into the acting world. And so that's why I really came here. A change in the part I was in a long distance relationship with my girlfriend at the time, and now she's my wife. So
Nice, nice. That's what's up. So our first meeting, you audition? Did you audition? Did you submit for Lover's Lane? Was that it?
I did. So when once I moved here, I went to Charlotte's Filmed Acting Studios and I met Jessica Lark there.
Right.
And we just had a really good chemistry. And I was like, well, where you work at? She was like, oh, I do these things for Carlton Clay. And I was like, because at the time I didn't know who you were. So then she put me on to you. She was like, yeah, search his name and look at his work on YouTube. And yes, Lover's Lane was the first thing I auditioned for. And I was like, oh, this is dope. And Lover's Lane still is my favorite show that you've done. And there's it don't matter what else you do after that. Lover's Lane just have a special place in my heart. I absolutely love that series. But that is the first show I did audition for you.
What about Lover's Lane? Like, what about it? Like, why is it your favorite?
It's the storytelling. And for start, it's the intro. I love the music and the intro. It kind of gives me like Days of Our Lives type of feeling. Oh man, and the actors, I fell in love with each character. But it's really the storytelling. The storytelling it has so much different drama and different layers of drama. Like everybody had different storylines, but they all kind of met in the middle. Like it was a lot going on, but it made sense. So I just loved it. And then as the season kept going on, you kept adding more characters, and more story to the story, more parts to the story. And I'm just like, yo, this is so dope. And then the intro video got even way better. I'm like, yeah, this is it. This is it.
I appreciate
We used to have
that.
them come out. I think it was every Sunday. I was glued. I couldn't wait.
Yeah.
Like, dang, it's Sunday. Time to drop Lover's Lane this Sunday.
Was it Sunday?
That's my shit,
I,
man.
it may have been. Oh,
Maybe
Friday.
Friday.
Friday. Yeah, Friday. Yeah, it
I
was Friday.
couldn't wait, man.
But we
I just love everybody's background stories, and the actors were so dope. Everybody was into character. Yeah, it was dope.
well, I appreciate that, man. And I'm sure everybody that was a part of Lovers Lane appreciates it too. But yeah, like I said, yeah, I remember you submitted for Lovers Lane, and then we started doing Sweet Mahogany, and so then that was the
Yep.
first time that we had the opportunity to work together. Sweet Mahogany, what was your first like when you first got the scripts? Like, what was your like initial reaction?
Um, let's see. When I first got Sweet Mahogany from, so there's two different reactions. The first
Okay,
reaction is I, I gotta read the script, make sure I understand the script, make sure I understand my character, And then the second reaction is, I just don't want to fuck this up. I want this. I want. I want to bring life to this character. I want to make sure that people watch this and like, oh, he's boring. And of course, I'm going to critique myself more than anybody else critique me because we are our own worst critics.
True.
But when I first read it, I just wanted to make sure I understood what I was reading. And it made sense. Sweet Mahogany is also up there. It's not Lover's Lane because Lover's Lane just have a special place in my heart. But with Sweet Mahogany, that's really what it was. And I wanted to make sure that the people I was acting with, that our chemistry was more natural. I didn't want it to make it seem like we were just reading off a piece of paper.
Hmm.
So I wanted us, and of course, me and Jessica already had chemistry because we were in class together. Um, so I just wanted to bring that real feeling to the script.
Yeah, which you absolutely did. And I'm looking on IMDb now because and I have this. I do this every time. I'll be like, "What are these characters' name?" Rick. Okay, I could not remember. You. I was
Yeah.
like,
Oh
"What is his
yes,
name?" It was Rick.
pretty original.
I'll be. I man,
Rick,
listen.
yeah,
Once
Rick is the
once
guy.
once it hits the page, it's out the dome, and I don't remember it. So it's.
Oh no, I understand.
Uh, but yeah,
I get it.
you play Rick. Rick it starts off. He meets Mahogany at a park, and
Hmm.
then comes to find out that he's the handyman for her mom. And then
Yep.
in season two or part two, however you decided to watch either as a series or a movie, then he ends up moving in to the mom's house. Um, did you well, I mean obviously it was kind of there like Rick was somewhat flirty, I guess the first go round, but did you think like I said Rick and Mahogany would like end up together? Like what was your take on their relationship?
So I thought Rick and Mahogany would end with each other in the end because Rick wasn't a bad guy.
Mhm.
He did get hired to do a job, but he wasn't a bad guy. And to my perspective, I don't feel like he really wanted to once he started to get to know her. Like, you do a job and you got to watch her, blah, 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 blah. And then you start to get to know the person. But I don't feel like he really wanted to do that after all. Like, he had real feelings for Mahogany. So I definitely thought in the end they would run off to the sunset and they would
Not
figure it out.
not the
But
sunset.
yeah, the sunset, the storm, the tornado. We was gonna make it regardless. On the other side of that rainbow, it was gonna be Rick and Mahogany. Didn't happen that way, but
But
I
yeah,
definitely thought they were gonna end up with each other because what's Camille's character? He had his own stuff going on. Him and his
oh
wife, they
Khalil,
already had something going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Khalil. So Mahogany could have had a really fresh start with a good guy, and he know how to fix some things around the house. So you ain't got to call no plumber or anything. Like I can fix everything. He's a fixer. Uh, so that would have been a great look for her. However, she decided to go a different route. It's okay.
um yeah, so we have like I said we have the first two Sweet Mahoganies, they're out now, and the third one will be coming out next year, 2025. So because we want to give stuff away, a lot of things away or whatever. When you because this is in the second one, so did you when you saw that Rick was actually hired by Khalil to watch Mahogany. What was your take on that, and what was your choices as far as playing that scene? Because that actually, when we shot that, you said Kenny was like choking you for real, like he was like really into it.
He did choke me for real. Here's the thing. So I learned this from my favorite actor of all time is Marlon Wayans, and he says sometimes when you acting, it's a natural instinct to do certain things, and instead of like, hey, stop, just go with it. Like if it
Uh-huh.
makes it look better, go with it. So when Khalil was choking me on that wall, by like the third choke, in my mind, I'm like, damn, I hope I can get through this because I can't breathe. And he apologized so many times. He's like, "My bad. Why you didn't say anything?" I'm like, "Dude, just keep going. If I die, it's on set. It's
No,
like it's great. It's on
no,
camera."
no, no, that's not
It looked,
acceptable.
man. It looked amazing. But it worked. It worked. So, oh man, that's funny.
But what was your take when you found out that your character was actually was hired by Khalil?
Okay, so I didn't know. I knew I was hired by somebody when I reading the script. When I found out it was him, I'm like, dang, we really not gonna get together now because when you in all scripts, those people that's working for somebody always get caught. So I'm like, when she find out, she's gonna be so mad. She finally opened. It took so long for her to open up to me, and she finally
Mm,
opened up to me that day. I know it was outside. It wasn't a park. Maybe it was a park, and she was telling me about her sister and her mom. It's not like she's finally opened up to me, which means she trusts me. And it was after our argument that we had in that living room. Um, so now she's vulnerable with me, and now it showed that I'm taking advantage of her, I guess you could say that, because I'm not being honest. I'm not being my true self.
mm.
So from two different perspectives, from the story, from like the audience, I'm like, dang, that's messed up. That's it's another layer to this drama. But from the actor, I'm like, dang, we really ain't gonna be together now because I'm lying to her. So now our foundation is ruined. It started off with lies. So
Yeah, that is very true. That is very, very true. Um, I guess we go ahead and go into the third one. Again, you guys are going to be we're wrapping a lot of things up in the third one. Well, again, we don't want to give things away. How was because we shot the third one, like I said, it had been years between when we
mhm.
shot season two and actually shooting Sweet Mahogany 3 as a film. So what was it like jumping
Yeah.
back into Rick after so much time had passed?
See, so what you said earlier, you said once you put it down, it's kind of out of your head. So I had to go back and rewatch the first two just so I can remember everything that was going on. Um, but it wasn't hard. Once you start reading it, start watching it, you get back into it. Like at this point, I'm two different actors. Like I feel like in the first one, I'm still like in the beginning stage, and I always still feel like I'm in the beginning stage. But I had a lot more experience and a lot more what I want to say, like layers under me at this point.
Mm,
So now I'm able to break down Rick a little bit more than I was able to break him down the first season or the second season. So now getting back into it, I'm looking at it differently. I'm looking at the script differently. I'm looking at Rick differently, and now like I actually have an objective and I know what I want to go after. So it wasn't really tough. I just had to. It's like get on a bike. Once you start pedaling, you kind of remember how to ride it again. So that's all it really was for me.
got you. There's one scene that, like I said, I think with you was my favorite in the third one. It's the scene between Rick and Khalil. Again, I'm not gonna spoil I'm not gonna say why they're in the scene together, but y'all, the interaction between you and Kenny, as far as again him basically basically overpowering you in a way, like trying to basically
Yeah.
assert his authority over you and the way you responded. um I thought that was a great scene. I thought it was great. I liked the way that you both tackled that you both the decision that you both made in that moment. um it definitely was a powerful, to me it was a powerful scene, just again just showing um Rick basically Rick's growth as a character. And like you said, at the same time, like you as an actor, you can definitely tell the difference between the choices you made this go around versus, you know, when we shot earlier. Um,
Right. Right.
back in what was it, 2018, 2019. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah. That
definitely,
I
definitely.
appreciate it because that, without giving away, that scene was pretty. I had to like figure out where would Rick like where would like me? I had to put myself in that like because you know Kenny's a big guy. I don't know if y'all know Kenny's a big guy. Kenny look like he lives in the gym, so he is a little intimidating. I mean I ain't no punk, but he is a little intimidating because he's a solid guy. So of course you're a little scared, but at the same time you want to overcome your fears too at the same time. So
Mhm.
yeah. So I had to make that decision. So I'm like literally in the middle. Like, I know where I'm at, but I know where I want to be too. So you got to kind of combine the two. So yeah, I appreciate that. That I appreciate that.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. I'm like I said, I'm looking forward to everybody seeing Sweet Mahogany 3 1 so everybody can stop asking me about it. And then two,
No,
um when I tell you I appreciate the love and support that of course, but it's like literally maybe once a week or every other week. It's like, hey, where's Sweet Mahogany 3? I'll be like, y'all will find out when I find out. Just once
hey,
once it's sent off, it's out of my hands. So I have no, I like I don't I like I said I have no answers to your questions, but just be patient.
I gotta go through our text messages because I feel like I asked you that too, at least once.
You
I think
you
once
pro
or twice.
you probably did.
Yeah,
You probably not.
I'm
But like
sure I did.
I'm looking forward to everybody seeing it because again, I'm glad that we had the opportunity to close it out. I really hate not having endings. Like I hate when shows or movies don't end. And it doesn't have to
Right.
necessarily be a happy ending because life is not always a happy ending, but at the same like it needs to be some
Yeah.
type of conclusion. And so I'm glad that we finally got to conclude to Mahogany. So yeah, you
Yeah.
guys I'm sure you guys will I hope you guys will enjoy the final part of this saga. So
You got me thinking. You said with me and Mahogany would have a sweet. I definitely should have definitely had a sweet end, especially after that kiss. That was such a passionate scene back in season two. We definitely should have. We definitely deserved a happy ending, and maybe we will get one. Who knows? Who knows? Who
yeah,
knows?
you have to just tune in and see what happens.
Who knows? Who
Right.
knows?
All
The
right,
thing with
so
Charles and Clay, he put some what's they called? What's they called? Dang, I can't think of the word. But with your writing, never know where you gonna go with it. You never know. You like, oh
gotta
yeah, this predictable. You know what's gonna happen, and it doesn't happen. He like, damn, this is not typically how TV shows go. You never know with you. So, man,
you gotta keep the audience and the actors on their toes. I want people to be like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that one. But I try not to, I try not to go too unrealistic though. You know what I'm saying? Like some things just be
yeah,
like, all right, that's not how that would really go for real, for real. But yeah, so I want to keep people on their toes and keep people in suspense of what's gonna happen. But at the same time, I try to still keep everything grounded as well. So.
all right, that makes sense.
Yeah. So we can move on to Bondage. Because you're not in the last season because we know what happened to your character, um, but still, the final season of Bondage is coming out on January 3rd. But yeah, you are in seasons 2 and 3 of Bondage, and your character actually has two names because like he comes in as one character, but we find out that he's
Yep.
actually a cop. Um,
Hey, yeah, undercover.
yeah, so like your fake name is I believe it's Eric.
It is Eric.
Okay, I'm on IMDb now. Yeah, it's Eric, and then your cop, your actual name, character's name is his name is Liam. So, bondage. Let's talk about bondage. You first coming in. So let's talk about you. Let's just start with season two, because well, yeah, it was revealed in season two as well. So let's start with your
Yeah.
first reaction that Eric. He's a new um male escort for the service. Like, what was your thoughts on you coming in for that show?
Man, Bondage was something different. For starters, Bondage, the name says it all. And the the job title also says it all, male escort. Um, hmm, I'm trying to pick my words. Bondage was different. I think for Bondage, even then, that was still some of my earlier work. And if I knew what I knew now, I probably would have went completely different with that character because now I understand how to break down a character in the script and to add more to what I already know. Um, but at that time, like we had a really cool cast that actually made me really, really comfortable. Brian actually was one of those guys because he was my boss. I think that's his name, Brian Mosley. Or Mosley, I hope I'm saying his name right.
Brand.
Um, so he actually made me, yeah, Red. He made me really, really comfortable because he was cool. Um, I'm trying to think because I want to say the right things. I want to be politically correct
Now I'm
in my
scared.
Jay-Z. No, 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 no. I would just say Bondage was a different experience. It was actually that role was actually the first type of role I've ever done. That was actually the first time I've done stuff like that. Little did I know later on I'll be doing it all the time. But that was actually my first type of role. So I was a little I guess you could say I was a little bit nervous. But at the same time, you just want everything to look realistic. You don't never want it to look like it's fake on camera. But that character was fun to play because I never was a male escort for starters, and I definitely ain't no cop. But the two characters was different because one, you have to play this role without getting caught. Like you have to. I ain't gonna say you being a snitch or like a CI, but you trying to learn what you need to do. But also play double sides. And then sometimes when you're doing two characters or two sides, you get lost in it.
Hmm.
And that's realistic in life because I know a lot of people that have a lot of different personalities, and sometimes your personalities end up mixing. Like and when I say that, I give an example, like when you at work versus when you outside of work. Like at work, you're a different person. Then outside of work, you're a different person. But sometimes they clash. You got to remind yourself, like I'm at work. Like sometimes people at work got me messed up.
Yeah.
So then, like the outside version of me come like I'm like, whoa, you gotta remind yourself you're at work. So I think the best part to me, I know I said a lot, so hopefully y'all understand that, but I think the best part for me was trying to play two different characters and not make them completely different, but also make them different, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a duality. That character was a duality once
Yeah,
again because you're literal. So basically, in essence, you're actually three people. You are Michael Mykkel, the actor, and then you are both. Then you are Eric, who is undercover, but his actual profession is Liam as a detective. So you're dealing with three personalities in this
right.
whole setting. So yeah, that make a
And
lot
then
of sense.
you see times where Liam is staring at himself in the mirror, like, man, what am I doing? like I am completely lost here. Like I'm completely in the middle, and it's great because he is playing two different roles. Like he's playing a really dangerous game for starters,
Yeah.
and you see him losing himself in the process because you're trying to be something you're really not, but you have to be because this is your job, and now you losing who you are.
Do you think that Liam enjoyed being Eric? Like, you think Liam enjoyed being in that? Like, I mean, obviously he was there to do a job, but then do you think he really started like saying, "Hey, I want to actually be Eric"?
I think Liam completely wanted to be Eric until the end. Um, he had to remind himself who he was. But I think he completely got lost and he enjoyed the luxury of being Eric because it's a great lifestyle. Like he got obsessed with that lifestyle. So I definitely saw the shift and I could definitely understand the shift. But yeah, he definitely lost himself. And at times I feel like he didn't really want to go back,
Mm.
but this is the decision you made. So now you're gonna always be in the middle. And I always, you know what's funny? I always wondered if the way it ended didn't end, where would he be at?
Mm.
Like,
Mm.
would have stayed? Because you had a decision to make in that room. If you would have took the other decision and took the cop out, then what?
That's true.
Red
That
probably would have still took me out for being a snitch, but
what you
I
call him?
think Red.
No, his name is not his name is Brand. The actor's name is Brand.
Oh, I thought his name was Red. Damn, my
No,
bad,
his name
bro.
is Brand. His name is Brand, and his character's name is Lorenzo.
You know what? I called him Brian.
You did call him Brian. I said his name is
I
Brand.
did. Brand. He gonna be like, bro, you don't know my name. I'm like, bro, what happened was half the time I don't even know my name. So,
And then you're doing the Beyonce right now because you got the camera kind of half on your face right now too. Like you know that
hey, you know
that,
what
that
you said? You said earlier, it's like your hand gonna get heavy, and I felt my hand fall asleep.
I told you before we
But
record.
I
I
didn't want
said
to
your
say that
hands gonna
like,
get
dang.
tired.
I was like, dang, he was right. My hand started to tilt a little bit. B was B. I wonder what B would have did to my character if I would have made that decision and decided to stick with him instead of turning against him. I think my fate was sealed anyway.
Yes, I
I
think
don't think there was no way out of it because they would have never trust me again.
right.
And I don't
Absolutely.
blame them.
Absolutely. I want to because you mentioned something earlier about the choices. I'm curious what choices would you have made? So let's say you was playing this now, 2024, going into 2025. What choices would what how different would have you how would you have played that character differently?
Oh man, I would have gave my character a lot more charisma. I would have given him a lot more swag. But this is just me. Like when everybody, if other people watch it, they see something completely different than what I see it because we critique ourselves the most. And I don't
Hmm.
think that's ever going to change. But I would have, I feel like the character was still me, but I would have gave him a completely different, like the way he talked, the way he walked. I would have created that character from scratch. Like I still would have read the script and understand what you were saying, but for me, I would have gave him something completely different than who I was. Because when I'm watching, I still see decisions I would make, like me, Michael Mykkel. I see decisions I would have made, and if I would go back, I would just completely erase me out, and I would have like when you draw on a picture like a stick person, and then you make it into you add more layers to make it look more realistic. I would have did that.
Got you.
I would have completely stripped the person, the character naked, and I would have just added what I wanted to add.
Got you. That makes sense. That makes sense. The scene that I like too on that one particularly, my favorite scene is the scene between you and Felicia. Felicia, she was playing you played the other cop in season three, and I like that scene because again, like y'all, the intensity in that scene where her character had to remind you who you were, and then the speech you
Mm-hmm.
made about cops kill like of course we was in the real height of black people getting killed by cops. So like we was like, I mean it's still bad now, but like I said, we was like really it seemed like it was a different person every month. So we
Oh
was like really
yeah,
in the height of it. So like that speech that your character gave and the way you delivered that, I thought that was a good scene. I like the way y'all did it.
appreciate it. And it was a crazy time at that time. I think we was just getting to the I can't breathe. We was heavy around that time, like
Yeah,
or that was approaching.
yeah. It was a lot. It was definitely a lot. It
It
was
was a it was like every other week. It was like somebody else died. So yeah,
yeah. What was it like to work with Felicia? Because I know a lot of people enjoy. Again, you're a Lover's Lane fan, so she
Felicia is
plays.
my favorite Lover's Lane character at that. And it's funny because I don't know if Felicia remembers. It's either in one of our inboxes, and I don't know if it's Instagram or Facebook, but I'm like, you are literally my favorite character on Lover's Lane. Oh my God, Felicia is one of the people I wish I can work with. Um, I don't know what type of film it would be, but I've always said she is the one person that you work with that I wish I can work with. I don't matter if it's a family movie or some type of dramatic suspense. Felicia is such an incredible actress to me.
Mhm.
Um, man. And I told her, I was like, you the reason why I be watching Lover's Lane. Like I watch it for other reasons, but you're my favorite character on this show because she's so conniving. And you cannot trust her. And I love it because she's wrong, but she's not wrong. You know, like the everybody's doing something for a reason.
Hmm.
And just because I don't agree with your reason doesn't mean that your reason is wrong. It's just I don't agree with your reason. And the acting choices she made in Lover's Lane, it's like I hate her, but I love her. Like I get why you doing what you're doing because you have something you want to gain. So Felicia is she's amazing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I've
Bridget.
not yet got a chance to work with her, but
But you did. You worked with her on Bondage.
no, like I meant like
And some,
when I say
some
work with her, I meant
your
like
project.
no, not my project, like me and her in a lot of scenes together.
Oh,
Like
I
a
got you.
feature.
I got you.
So we can really like have fun with. That's what I mean with it.
Got you. Understood. Understood. I mean,
Which means you have to write something.
oh gosh, here we go.
You have to. I already told you, no, you was not letting. No, absolutely not. I ain't even gonna say too much, but I already told you, nope, no, no,
I'm about to say you can say what you want to say. This is your space. This is your time.
no. I'm not gonna put your business out there. But no, you're just not. No, you're not. No, 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 no. I already said no. I understand. You're just taking a little break. Cool. Take breaks sometimes. That's good for the soul.
Oh,
Absolutely not.
that's funny. But yeah, no,
Mm-mm.
Bridget was definitely a fan favorite of Lover's Lane. One of the fan favorites of Lover's Lane. And Felicia is an incredible actress. Um, I was actually happy to see her in that light because it was such a major shift, a major difference from Bridget. So
Hmm.
to see her play that character, I thought that was fun. Um, yeah, like I said, I will. And again, I mean, it's been years since season three came out, but I will say that your character's death and her character's death as well. Those were some sad moments. That was
Yeah.
very sad.
You know, it was because I was reading it and I was like, I got killed. But there was no other ending for me at that point. I feel
Hmm.
like you're stuck where you are. There was nowhere else for me to go. There was nowhere else for I don't even believe there was nowhere else for that character to go because you're stuck and you wasn't gonna get out that room. Like that, you just wasn't getting out that room alive.
Right.
But I wouldn't have let me out that room alive either. It's like now I know too much.
Right.
So now I got no choice. Like I have no choice. If you would have shot the cop, you would have just did us a favor.
Hmm. That's true. That's very true.
So
What is it like for an actor when they find out that their character is going to be unalive? What what is that
mm,
feeling like for an actor when you read that?
it is. So I can't speak for all actors. For me, it depends. If I know there's nowhere else, no, I can't even say that. I mean, I just said that there was nowhere else for my character to go, but as a writer, there's always somewhere your character can go. Um, it's really it's sad because in your mind, when you get so involved in your character, you know the happy ending you want for your character, or you know the ending you want for your character. So then when you don't see the ending, you like, let me call the writer, see if he made a mistake. Because what I saw, what you mean? Like, because I didn't see this. You need another perspective. Look, or we could do it this way. But sometimes it does sad because either the show is coming to an end or your character is coming to an end. And when you on when you're on set with this cast and you really enjoy being around them, you fall in love with the character that you are, and you got a chance to develop your character and really get to learn this character. It does get sad, but then sometimes I understand why the character got to go. So it just depends on the show.
Got you. Got you. Okay.
Sometimes the best part of the scene is when your character die, like especially for them villains who's not really villain, they just misunderstood. When they die, it's like, yeah, that's I understand why that person died, but man, I left my mark on this bitch. Y'all gonna always talk about me alive and dead. So
Okay.
it just
Okay. Yeah.
depends on the show.
Gotcha, gotcha. I know. Some actors they be like, "Why you killed me off? Well, like why? Why did you?" And I just be like, and honestly, and okay, you're a writer, you know. Like I said, as a writer, you have to follow the character, what's going on in your head. You have to follow the characters and their journey. Um, you can't necessarily go off of what you would do all the time. Like, so you really have
Yeah.
to really just be true to the story and the world that's happening on the inside. So, and I know, like I
Right,
said,
right,
it's kind of hard to explain. If you're not a writer, you don't really get what I just said because I know you'd be like, well, I know people are like, well, you can control that. I mean, but then it won't be authentic. I feel like it won't be authentic to what the world. You have to be actually be in the world of
right,
that story. You know what I'm saying? And really stay true to that versus okay, this is what Carlton wants, or this is what this particular actor wants, or whatever. So I just to really tell the true authentic story, you have to really be captivated and stay true to that world.
right.
And
Now I
writers
get, I get,
understand that. So,
right. Now
but
I get
yeah,
that 100%. Sometimes if I feel like my character is too stale, or sometimes when your character is the most popular one, sometimes I get it. I get it. But
yeah.
it just depends. Like if you're really in love with the show and in love with your character, and you feel like your character's ending, or there's a lot of different choices your character can make, and then you see like, whoa, I'm getting killed after this scene. Like, dang. So it just depends on your attachment to your character and your attachment to your show.
I mean, I did. Yeah, that's true. And I said this being transparent, like even as I said, as a writer, there were some choices that I made because I because of the friendship that I've had with certain actors, and the characters honestly stayed longer than what they should have. And then I go
Right,
back and I'm just like, yeah, I should have stayed true and authentic to the story versus, well, let me because this person is a good friend, quote unquote. Let me prolong their stay, and that's not really what was best for the story. So,
right,
and like I said, it ain't no beef or no ill will, but I mean it's just the truth as far as as a creative, you have to make those decisions, especially like you said when you create those relationships and you're just like you enjoy working with certain people, and it's like okay, but what is best for the story versus
right,
your personal feelings. So,
right.
it's a battle. It's definitely a
It's
battle.
definitely, I can imagine the challenges you have to make, because you have a relationship with a lot of us. So
Yeah.
I can imagine sometimes you like the difficult decisions you have to make. Like, dang, that's my guy, that's my girl. All right, well, she got to go though. But dang, do I really? Is there any other way I can? I can imagine that it's difficult for you. So
But that's the beauty of at the time I was doing like a thousand things. So it was like, all right, well, you might be done with this, but at least I can put you on this so we can do this or whatever. So I mean, at the like I said, at the time
yeah,
I was doing a thousand things.
right, right,
I'm gonna reiterate
right.
at the time.
Yeah, at the time we get back to it.
No one.
We'll get back to it.
Oh man. Okay, so we're gonna move into the films. I think we're done with shows with you. I'm looking at my board now. Let's see. Yeah, I think Lover not Lover's Lane. Um Sweet Mahogany and then Bondage. So that was it for you. And then we move on to the films and Redemption for Easter. Um when you played the cousin, um and your scenes are hilarious. Like I said, it's the perfect blend of funny moments mixed in with the serious moments of that film. 'Cause that
Right,
film is definitely very, very, very deep and very serious. A lot of we
right,
touch on a lot of things in that film, but your character is the perfect blend. And even your character also had a serious moment too, like I said, when we had the dinner scene or whatever, as well, when your character gave his
Right.
Um, Easter speech. But talk about your experience on Redemption for Easter.
So, like you said, Redemption Easter is, first of all, it's a great film. If you haven't seen it, I encourage everyone to still go see it. Um, but that one was actually fun. The thing with you write the lines, but you give me so much freedom to deliver them and add to it what I like to add to it. So you make it easier for me because I just say the natural things that come to my mind. Um, but that's actually one of my favorite characters because, like you said, there is a blend of seriousness, but there is also a comedic relief as well. Um, which that's just normally me. That's me every single day. So that is actually one of that might actually be my no one of my favorite characters I've ever played, just in general. Trying to make sure I say that right. In general. But it's such a dramatic, not dramatic, it's a story with a lot of different dramatics to it. So to have that character to be able to do both, he showed that he can be funny, but he also show you that he knows when to be serious too, at least for the
Hmm
most part.
hmm
So having a character that's able to do both of those, that's that's me. Oh man.
So do you see a lot?
Redemption
You say
Easter.
your character's name was Rico. Did you see a lot of yourself in Rico?
I saw a lot of myself in Rico as far as the funny parts and the timing of the jokes. And some of that stuff was so much ad lib that I was I know you had a horrible time editing that, like, oh, he said something different. So, because I was saying so many different things. But it was so much fun because what happened for me was I would say these things in my head, like, all right, I knew what scene was next. So I'm looking around the room, I'm seeing what everybody have on. I'm like, all right, I know who he looked like, I know who he looked like, but I'm not saying it until it starts to roll because I wanted everybody to have a natural reaction. Like I'm not saying like, hey, I'm gonna call you this. It's just gonna say it and see how people react to it. So when I'm saying it and people just like you're like, all right, cut, and everybody just started dying laughing. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing my job. I'm getting what I want from you. My goal, my objective was to make these people laugh, and I'm getting that. But I
The
do
scene.
see a lot of myself. Um, Go ahead.
No, no, go finish. I'm sorry.
No, but to answer your question, I do see a lot of myself in Rico. I actually relate to Rico probably one of the most. There's another film that we did that I relate to that character somewhat. But Rico, I definitely relate to him.
Yeah, like I said, I thought you did an amazing job playing Rico again, providing that comic relief that was needed throughout the film. The scene, of course, that was hilarious. Was when Mama brought her new husband in, and everybody, all the kids were like shocked, upset, but Rico's coming in like just laughing and just cracking jokes about the whole thing. And I also thought it was funny too because Kenny, of course, is playing the husband, and it was funny because again, all the guys trying to buck up against him, and there you are. I'm like, what is he gonna do?
Hey, I'm supporting the fam. I'm supporting the family. I'm their backup. Kenny is a solid guy, so I'm like, I can't intimidate him. So I gotta, I guess, intimidate him in a different way. I gotta crack jokes. Oh, I gotta find my strength because I ain't gonna be able to wrestle him. So now we could jump on him, but by myself, and that ain't gonna work. So let me find something I'm good at. Let me find my strength. I'm a like you go to jail, you see the biggest guy in there, you're gonna try to make him laugh and be his friend. So
That's
yeah,
funny.
man.
That's funny. And like I said, yeah, it was a lot of ad libs. Yeah, it wasn't bad though. It wasn't bad editing. It was just having to cut and try to paste it and everything. Because like I said, we shot. Um, we had the different cameras, which was great. So it didn't take too long to film a lot of this stuff. But yeah, ad libs were crazy.
And man, you know what? It's I love it, but I also hate it because when I be doing my own stuff and I'm like, dang, I said this 6 different ways, huh? So now I'm like, but I love it because I got options. But sometimes I can see why it can be a headache. So
Yeah.
now I'm learning to keep it at least two jokes, if go between the two. Now to have like 6 or 7 different ones. So I apologize that you have to go through all
Nah, you gotta apologize. It's all good. It's all
because I know me. And I'm like, damn, I said 7 different jokes about him.
yeah, especially
Oh
like I said
man.
again, not when Shataria's character comes in, of course, it's just the Easter dinner, and it was just like because I think, like I said, the shot was just on you, like the camera was just on you, so like you said like I think you said a different thing each time. I was
That sounds about right. That sounds like me. And
like,
I would have never known until I start like recording myself doing goofy things. I'm like, man, I said this 10 different ways. So to make it easier next time on your next film, I'm not gonna say too many different ad libs. Yep, go ahead. Yep, yep. On your Carson's gonna get back in the lab and write. I'm not gonna do too much next time.
him and this you and this next time that you keep speaking of, I don't know what you're
Man,
talking. I
hey,
don't know what you're talking about.
it's, we know it's coming. Back in the lab. Go ahead and make some room on that wall.
Um, also too with that movie too, I liked. Again, I think like I said, my favorite, of course, my favorite scene is the family scene, the Easter scene where everybody comes together and they're talking about what Easter means to them. That was such a that's one of my favorite scenes. Such a touching scene. And it was just crazy. Like it was the emotions in that room too. Cause like people were like y'all, like people were crying for real. Like people was like
Hmm.
y'all was in it. Y'all were
Legit crying.
in it, and it was like yeah, each person had to do it twice.
Hmm.
So
I remember
yeah.
that scene was very emotional. And what I remember the most, I don't know if Shay remembered, because I think I was like one of the last people to go. And Shay was like, "Let me guess, you got something funny to say." And I was like, "No, it's actually gonna be really serious." Because everybody was expecting me to say some goofy at that time, and I had nothing goofy to say at that time. And that part stands out the most to me because I just remember Shay was like, "You about to say something funny, ain't you?" And I'm like, "No, like I'm not." And it shows a shift that, like from what my character really was, that he really have emotions and he actually really. I'm not like the freeloading cousin. Y'all are my family. Like y'all are like the closest thing I got to a brother, sister, and a mom. And to be able to finally show that, I feel like it gave my character a different layer. And people
Hmm.
can look at him like, all right, I get it. He's not just a freeloader or just a bum. He just likes being around his favorite cousins. And so I enjoyed that part.
Yeah. Like I said, that was very heartwarming and very touching for sure. Yeah, that was great. Y'all did that for sure. Okay, so we are going to, I guess, move into these projects that aren't out yet because, like I said, we talked about Super Mahogany 3 already. The assistant to a family affair. So you are
Mm,
in that. You are playing Mikey. Mikey. Do people call you Mikey?
Mike. No, some people do, but it irritates me. I'd be like, "Hi, Mikey," and I just be like, "Hi, good morning." Good fucking morning.
Um,
You have whatever type of morning God intended for you after that.
wow. What's funny? First, I just want to say, when I wrote this character, I was not thinking about Michael Mykkel at all. I just that was just the character's name that came to me. It was gonna be Michael, and they're gonna call him Mikey, and then it just so happened I was like, "Hey, Michael Mykkel, do you want to do this part?" So, so you playing the character that actually has your name. Talk about okay. Again, we can't give a lot of things away.
Right,
But
right.
talk about first of all, talk about your character, Mikey, the character, and then talk about your experience on this film.
First of all, you know what? I think I said Redemption for Easter was my guy, but Mikey might be my guy. Um, So the film, see, without giving too much, Mikey has his own obstacles like any other person in the world, and I feel like Mikey's coping mechanism is just making people laugh. Um, so I understood the film, I understood my character, I understood like things we go through, and so for Mikey, I wanted to use what I normally use to get over stuff, and that's just like goofing around about situations, even though they serious. Like comedians do it a lot. Comedians have so much trauma, and they use comedy to relieve they trauma. So I wanted to use that with Mikey, and I'll just leave it at that. As far as the cast, oh my God, Bird is my homie. Deja is my homegirl as well. Um, they made it so easy for me to be this character because I had an idea what I wanted to do, and I knew Bird personality, and only had until that time only had conversations with Deja like on social media. So when you make jokes, you want to make sure people don't take it offensive.
Right.
So that was my biggest thing. I didn't want nobody to be offended by any acting choices I decided to make, and they just hit me back with the same thing, which I thought was really dope. So they made it easy for me to to be okay with the acting choices I decided. Um, so yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, it was a great cast. My dad, oh my God, I didn't realize he was that amazing of an actor. Like I never thought he was a bad actor, but we had a really good conversation, and man, his acting skills are on a whole different level than I originally thought. TJ, man, he's amazing. So I had a great experience with the cast, and you and everybody else that was around. Like I felt like that was, you know what? If I go back to Sweet Mahogany and go back to now, and of course it's supposed to happen, that was probably the most comfortable I've been on set within myself and trusting my acting decisions. I mean, that's natural. It's supposed to grow anyway, but I'm just thinking about that now. That was the most comfortable I think I've ever been as far as like trusting myself.
Got you. Yeah, I thought the again, it's really hard to talk about this stuff but not give stuff away. Um, you and Deja definitely y'all definitely gave the brother sister vibes for sure. Even when we weren't filming, y'all definitely was giving like just cracking jokes on each other. Which is great. Like I said again, I like that again the chemistry is natural when with everybody. This and the scene with you and T. There's a particular scene with you and TJ, who plays your dad, and um, basically he says something to you that you can't take it back. Like it's like just you say
Yeah.
certain things. That's why it's important to watch your words, even in anger. You have to like let me take a step back because if I say this, I'm gonna obliterate you, and it's like really no coming back from it. So in that moment, in that scene, I think that definitely was 1000% the turning point for y'all's characters. Because I mean, again, I can say this, the relationship is tumultuous. Um, but at that point, it's just like, nah, it's not coming back from that. Like like
It's not.
even with the outcome that happened, it's like even if the outcome did not happen after that, there's like that relationship is tarnished forever because of the words that were said in that scene. But I thought that scene was great, between you and TJ. Because again, it was just that it was a hard scene. It was tough. And even TJ, like he had to take a second after the scene was done because he had to take a second to like brush that
Get
off.
out of here.
Yeah. So like I said, it was the assistant too um was a great closing um
Mhm.
in my career.
For the year, yeah, for the first, what's this, the first, how long you been doing this? About 10, 20 years?
Not reduced it to 10. Yeah, it's definitely been 20 plus, sir.
All right, so for the first 20 years of your, yeah, so now we just gonna focus on the next 20. This was a great way to close 20 plus 25. Let's round it up. The first 25 is a great way to close 25. Now let's start a different 25. Yeah. See, it's how you say things, guys. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. He was just saying, the first 25 years was great. Now we're going to go for greater.
It definitely hasn't been 25. So as it was this is we're closing out year 21.
21. Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
yeah. So
21 years. That's a man. That's amazing. 21 years. Because, dude, that's a lot. Because you think
it
about where
is.
you started from versus where you at now. So,
Yeah, it's 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 been a journey, definitely for sure.
yeah, put that black magic to use.
Bro, I'm looking right at it. It's literally just it's been sitting there. I haven't touched it. I haven't touched it since the assistant to um Destin, who's somebody young guy I've been working with. He does the cosplay for me for my comic. Um he's a young filmmaker and he's been using it. So I just let him hold it. So
Man,
I haven't touched it since the assistant too.
dang.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to rent that mug from you for a couple days.
I told you you never
I
you
know I
listen, y'all.
forgot.
Michael Mykkel is one of the worst texters ever in life. He's one of the worst people to ever have a conversation with because like he does not respond. Like this dude will text you first and then don't respond after that. He's horrible.
That's definitely. In
He's
my mind, I feel
horrible.
like I responded, and then I don't have notifications on my phone. Like I turn all notifications off on my phone
Hmm.
because I don't know if it's the sound I don't like. I don't know if it's the vibration or I don't like being interrupted, I guess.
Got you.
So no notifications ever come to my phone. So sometimes I'm like, damn, nobody texts me. And then I hit the text app and I'm like, oh damn, you got 16 messages that you missed.
16 is
So
crazy.
that is on me because I mean I don't have no notifications on my phone, but I wanted it that way because sometimes I get distracted so easily. Like if I'm doing something, I need to focus on whatever I'm doing.
Hmm.
And then just seeing the notifications, I'm like, dang, a TikTok notification came on. Now I'm on TikTok for 2 hours just scrolling. So to avoid that, I have to I gotta turn stuff off.
I respect that. That makes a lot of sense. I respect. So I won't be so angry with you anymore.
Yeah, I just don't have no notifications on. But I don't need them on. I mean, I need them on, but I know why I turn them off.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I can respect that for sure. Yeah. So y'all be actually y'all again same answer as Sweet Mahogany 3. I do not know when the Assistant 2 is coming out. I have no idea. I will find out when you guys are probably it'll probably somebody will probably text me and let me know. Be like, hey, I just saw your movie on Tubi or wherever. That's what happened with the first one, the first
Yeah.
assistant. Nelson told me that it was out.
What? They didn't even tell you first? That's wild. Hey,
Yeah,
you should have got
so
the first.
no, I was like, and this is not Maverick, by the way. I don't want people because that's the company I do the most work with. But this particular distributor is not it's not Maverick because Maverick will let you know. But
Yeah.
nah, with the assistant, I had no idea. I had no idea it was out. I was like I said, Nelson texted me and was like, "Yo, the movie's out." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yo, that's messed up. Like, dang, y'all couldn't tell me. Like, that's wow.
So I'm assuming that's probably what's gonna happen with the assistant too. I'll probably either randomly look on a streaming service and it's there, or somebody will text me and say, "Hey, your movie is out." Man, like I said, the assistant too is like it was definitely because I got to use the black magic. We used the black magic for the Love of Christmas too, but I actually used it for the season two. It was me actually doing the camera work and stuff. I will say though, it was definitely a challenge with a lot of the color correcting. This was
Mhm.
I had somebody do it, and I had to also help out with it as well. So this is both of our first time. Me and shout out to Corey Green. This is our first time doing color correcting for a film. So um, please give us some grace, people. So that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Just give us some grace. Like I said, just it turned out the best that it could be.
Right.
So yeah, I just hope y'all enjoy the story.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, when you start getting into the more complicated cameras like the Black Magic, man, that it's different. It is
yeah,
completely different.
yeah.
Because I when I first my first camera was a Sony A6000. It wasn't like $600. It wasn't 4K. It was like 1080p. And then I went into the Blackmagic 4K. I was so confused. I'm like, what is all of these settings, all these buttons? Oh man, it was. So I get it. I get it. I
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I like when my and people be asking me about cameras all the time. I be telling people, y'all, I'm not a camera guy. I know y'all, y'all see all the work and like, oh, I don't know anything about cameras, bro. Whenever I buy a camera, I give it to somebody that does, and I say, put the settings on for me, and then give it back to me. I don't
What?
know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not.
I'm a nerd for that
I'm
stuff
not.
now.
That's
Now.
not. That's not my thing. That's not my judge. I'm not into like actually cinematography work is not my thing. Like I literally do it because I had to because I wasn't about to wait on anybody to I had stories I wanted to put out. I had stuff I wanted to put out. So I
Mhm.
wasn't about to be waiting on people. I ain't have money like that to be, paying everybody. Again, I'm not saying people shouldn't be paid. Let me clarify that because people try to take your words and twist it.
You know,
What I was saying
some
was
people do take advantage of you.
yeah, I couldn't afford, to pay people. Like as far as that is concerned, like, doing cinematography work. So I just got the camera and just, just learned as I went.
Right.
So
No,
yeah.
I'm a camera nerd now. So I can talk camera specs with people. Oh my gosh, I'm a dweeb for it. But kind of like you said, because you had to like when you first starting off, and because I started off as a writer, like I didn't want to film people stuff. I just wanted to write and find actors and find a film company. But people do charge you a lot, and then if you don't know a lot, people will overcharge you to try to take advantage of you because they know you don't know.
Hmm.
And I remember that when I did my first it was like 20 pages. And this guy was like, yeah, I'll do it for you, but it's going to be $20,000. And you got to, I'm just like, where the fuck I'm going to get $20,000 for starters? And then for $20,000, I might as well buy my own camera and stuff and learn how to do it. So
Hmm.
sometimes you have to do it because people will take advantage of you.
Yeah.
But, I'm a dweeb for camera stuff now. Man, I'm looking, but it's only Black Magic. Like, I don't be caring about other camera brands. I'm a Black Magic person. And I probably would never go to another camera brand outside of a Black Magic, at
Speaking
least
of
today.
speaking of what are you working on? Because again, Michael Mykkel, he does his own projects as well. And I'm gonna talk about a gripe I got with you about that too. But I'm gonna first say I'm gonna let you talk. What are you working on now? Like what you got going on?
Um, so I ain't gonna say unfortunately, at the moment, school has just started for me. So I am in a play, but after March 2nd, the first film that I'm focusing on is called Views. It's basically, I ain't gonna say basically, I try to get out of saying basically. It's about this couple who moves into this. They actually obsessed with being social media famous. So they move into this haunted house just to get views. So they find themselves doing a lot of things that they wouldn't normally do, but because they want that social media status.
Hmm.
But at the end, there's a lesson because they're gonna learn that social media status and doing all this stuff for views isn't always the best decision to do. Like I see so many people do, like you never seen the people that be jumping in random people cars or the people that be randomly starting fights or just in random gangs doing like doing stupid stuff for views. Like
Right.
this stuff can get you killed. So it's just basically telling you that views don't compromise your morals for views. So that's the first film I am working on, and that starts like March 22nd. I'm still waiting on a few other parts to make this work, but for the most part, we're going to start like end of March. And then right after that, I'm going into Girl Dad, which is a family film. because a lot of stuff I write doesn't be family related or for the family. But Girl Dad is 100% for the family. It's a bachelor. He wakes up one day and there's like a 10-year-old daughter, 10-year-old girl on his front step. He realizes his daughter, so now his friends are trying to figure out what happened to the mom and why the mom just left the girl, while he's trying to figure out how to be a dad. So those are the first two films I am working on, and views start in March. Girl Dad, we should start filming in like August.
Nice. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Good
So,
stuff. Now, I'm gonna talk about the gripes now. So, I so Michael Mykkel and I had two things that we were supposed to work on before I retired from this business. So the first thing was Michael Mykkel did these funny skits. He did these Moesha skits,
oh,
and for people who
I
know,
know the name of it.
Moesha is one of my favorite. Moesha is one of my favorite sitcoms. I love Moesha, and so when you did these Moesha skits, I was rolling. I thought they were hilarious. A lot of them, some of them came, during COVID time and all that stuff too. And I had said, hey, I think we should do. I would like to do like a sketch show. Like I said, one take like we would just take different, like we use the Moesha skits. Just do different skits and just put them all together. Like it's like kind of like a in living color minus the live studio audience. And Michael Mykkel said, "Yeah, let's do it." And then, as you guys see, that never happened because Michael Mykkel doesn't like to text back. And so then the second project
Ooh,
was,
I just think time got away from us.
man, stop it. And then the second project was the we were gonna do a spoof on the Housewives stuff.
Hollywood,
And
yeah.
then
The husband of Hollywood, yeah.
yeah, and then that never happened because once again,
That was
Michael.
not my fault, 100%. We were supposed to film in October, and no, to my understanding, we were still missing a few people.
Okay,
I think we didn't have the whole cast. We had like two people, but we needed. You said we needed like four total, which you included, and we didn't have everybody, if I remember correctly. I had one guy I was supposed to ask, and he was really busy at the time. So I'm like, dang, I didn't know who else to ask. Because he was the only person I could pick, but he was really busy at the time, and I think we only had just me and you. And I do remember you saying, "All right, it'll just be the two of us, and we just make a bunch of different characters just off the two." And then we were supposed to film either October or November,
and then you
and then
and then you didn't get back to me.
I think you started doing games we play.
What?
Remember you had that script called it got Kevin
Oh, I
in
know
it,
what you're talking about. It definitely
Kevin
wasn't get
Stone in it.
you trying to get me sued. It definitely was not games we play. That's a BT show. That was not me.
What's the,
You talking about love games?
yeah, Love Games. There we go. Because I just know Kevin in it, and I was like. We were trying to film around that same time. He was like, "All right, well, I got something to film, and we'll come back to this after." And then we never came back to it. So like, I got a good memory because I remember that. Because I'm like my boy KJ in it.
Oh man. Yeah, well we didn't shoot love games either. So
Oh damn! I just remember it was around that time. But the house that was gonna be super. Oh my god, that was gonna be super funny. We just didn't have everybody. But great that you're not retiring because we could definitely pick this back up right in the summer.
denial is not a good thing to have, sir.
That's why we got it. We think that we can go right back. That's the perfect. If you want to end it, we bow out, start over right there.
So long as it's something involving you, then I can bow out.
No, you can't bow for what? Look at your wall. You got at least 20 more you can add back there.
My wall's not that big.
And then what if I need help?
Say what?
What if I need help? How you gonna retire? I might need some help. I might need another camera person.
Oh no, that's not happening. If I you can borrow my camera. I'm done with the camera stuff.
He like, it's not happening. He like, oh my gosh,
No,
that is crazy.
if you were to if you need an eye to read a script for you, I got you. I'm here for you. If you need if you need help with actors, I can definitely give give you some referrals.
Oh, he said, I ain't doing it.
If you need moral support, I'm here for you all day.
He said, behind the camera days are done. Dang,
Uh yeah, not yeah, but you're more than welcome to borrow the camera if you need to borrow the camera. You're
that's
more
crazy.
than welcome.
All right, we'll
More than
work on
welcome.
it. We'll work on it. We'll go over a couple drinks. We'll go out for some drinks and talk about it. We'll work on it.
Oh gosh, that's funny. That's
You
hilarious.
know who's good at convincing people? Shay. I'm gonna hit up Shay. Shay, my girl. I tell her come out for drinks with us, and she'll help me convince you.
That's definitely Shay's been trying to convince me since I said I'm not doing it anymore, and it still has not happened. I have to. No, not now. Nah.
Shay, my homegirl. We've been
Yeah.
fortunate enough to she done some things for me, so I know she's good at convincing people. So I'll bring her with me.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of money spent from your wallet.
He said, "I'm just here for the drinks." Ah, that's funny.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Oh man.
But no, man, seriously, I'm grateful that you and I connected. I'm grateful that you and I have worked together. It's been great. Um, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of your growth. Again, like I said, you are one of the actors that I've seen that has that the growth is apparent. And again, not like I said, you weren't bad. You definitely weren't bad. You were good then, but it's like I said, now it's like you really I can see that you're you 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 are more like decisive about the things that you choose to do as an actor.
Okay.
So it's been great to see your journey from when I first met you shooting Sweet Mahogany. I think your very first scene was that park scene when you give Mahogany the
Yep.
water, and then from now where you are now, it's been great to see that growth. So it's been a privilege,
Yeah,
honestly.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I am definitely grateful because a lot of my stuff is from you. So, like they say, the stars are going to always align. They're always supposed to align regardless of the route. I don't know where my acting journey would be at if I didn't cross path with you. Like you've given me so many different opportunities, and because of that, I'm able to learn from you. I'm able to learn from the cast that you pick. Man, like I don't know where my journey would be at if I didn't come across Carlton Clay. If I didn't come across Jessica Lark, who introduced me to Carlton Clay. So I am more than grateful, man. I just think about it because I just remember writing. I was like, hopefully he get my email so I could be in Lover's Lane. She was like, yeah, dude, this is his name Carlton Clay, and she was so nice, and Jessica. And I was like, all right. And you finally wrote back. I was like, oh shit. It's like, hey, Reedy gave me a chance.
I'm trying to think
Oh man.
why weren't you in Lover's Lane though? Why
Mm, I think
why
you was also starting at that time. You had Lover's Lane. You was doing Brotherhood. So you had so many different shows going on. And Sweet Mahogany
okay
was the next show up.
okay
And he was like, all right, I need new characters for Sweet Mahogany.
okay. Because I think you would. Okay, well, this is a question. What character would you have liked to have played in Lover's Lane? Like, what if you could design your own character? What would your character be, and how would they interact with the group?
Oh man. What it depends on what season we talking. Let's go to the season with Felicia because I would have to be. Oh man, I would actually want to be like a Felicia assistant. Like I want to be one of those characters that would be loved by her, but I
Mm,
also wanted to be hated by every other character. Like I wanted not even the characters. I wanted the audience to completely hate me because we hated Felicia. Like I wanted to be one of those characters, and I think I would have been like one of the new neighbors on Lover's Lane, and I would have tried to ruin the Smiths. I think that was their name, the Smiths.
The Smiths.
Um,
Who the Smiths?
what was their name?
Who?
The
Who you talking about?
Shay and her husband. I can't think of their
Oh, the
last name.
Stewarts. The Stewart
The
family.
Stewards. I know it started with an S. I would have tried to ruin them. Look, Lover's Lane was man. It was a while ago.
Why
I knew
would
it
you
started with an S, but
want to ruin Cynthia and Malachi? What they do to you?
Cynthia needed to be with. She probably would have needed to be with the character I would have created. I would have been more suitable for her. And then, if I remember, Malachi didn't like the swap too much.
No,
If I
Malachi did not
He
enjoy the
wasn't with
swap.
that. He was not with that. I would have been okay with that if Shay would have asked me the right way. And he was mad the whole time. Like, dude, if you don't smile, like what you doing? Have fun, enjoy yourself. Look back at each other every now and then and give the nod, like, all right, we're okay. But yeah. But I wanted to be the character that everybody would have hated. So
So you would have wanted to have been Bridget's assistant doing her bidding.
assistant or her family member, something like that.
Oh,
I would have been just like her.
okay. So you've been basically been the male Bridget causing havoc,
Yep.
specifically on Cynthia and Malachi.
Yep. I would have manipulated my way to get whatever I wanted from everybody. And I probably
Okay.
would have turned on Felicia at the end too, because that would have just been my character. Like, yeah, I learned from you, but now I'm gonna use everything I learned from you to manipulate you as well. So, you got
That,
that little brother or that little sister, that little cousin you just can't say no to.
yeah.
I would have been that to her. Like, she would have done whatever I told her to do. Because like, oh, this is my little brother, and blah 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 blah. And I would have used that
Ah,
to my advantage.
you know what? That
You
actually,
thought about writing
that
it,
no, I did think about writing it.
okay? Let me send you a pen and a notebook. I sent you a notebook right now. Don't worry about it. You'll get it on Tuesday. Put your address for it. Put it on my phone.
Oh man, that's
Oh, that's
funny.
funny.
That's funny. No, that's very intriguing. That's a very intriguing storyline. That's a good alternate universe storyline.
Yeah. And now Bridget want people to accept her again and love her because now getting done the same treatment. And it's funny how every character could have reacted to that.
I think your character would not have made it that long. I don't think Bridget would have liked that. I think your character would probably have been offed.
But that would have even been better. Like she got to kill the brother that she loves so much, or the cousin she loves so much, and would do anything for. Like she'll be battling herself. Like, dang, I do anything for him, but he's stepping on my toes. Like I have to do this. Like I have no choice but to do this, but I
I
don't
think
want to.
I just think it's so funny that you want to come in between Cynthia and Malachi. I was like, what would that? That's so funny to
Just
me.
them. I just want to come between them.
They already had
Jessica,
they already had people coming in between them. Malachi had Nicole and then Cynthia had Curtis. What you gonna do?
nah, I would have went after Shay too. Now Malachi got another person. And then it would have had to make sense. Like she would have had to do so. It had to be some type of backstory that they did, maybe back in the day or something. I don't know. I would have made it make sense.
You so funny. You so funny. Like I said, because she already had a back in the day situation. She was with EJ back in the day.
Hey, EJ would. I don't know. That would have came between Jessica and her husband too. I would have been a new person on the block. So I would have had to be in control of everything.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
And the fact that I'm not getting the control, I got to manipulate everybody's situation. I got to be their best friend and then use it against them.
That's funny. I think honestly, I'm gonna tell you this. There was an alternate. The Ray. I think I don't know if you've heard the story before. I've said it before here on when I interviewed people, but there was an alternate way that season 6 is supposed. Like the show's supposed to end a different way. Like there was actually an original set of scripts for season 6. So what y'all see on the screen is not actually what was written first. So
Hmm.
with your idea, I think that would have kind of fit with that storyline of because basically what happened in the scripts, in the original scripts, there was this person that was in the mix, but he was killing off different characters throughout that last season, like literally killing them.
Dang. Now
So
that would have been
the
dope.
last
That
season
would
was
have been
actually
me.
the last season was actually supposed to be a massacre season. Like you don't know who's gonna make it out alive, pretty much. So that's how Love is supposed to end, actually.
Yeah, that should be your thing for your next series. You right. At the
First,
ending, everybody gotta go.
first of
That should just be
all,
your new thing. Like at the
first
end
of
of the series,
all,
everybody gotta die.
first of all, that wink, stop it. That we first,
I like for
look
your
at
next series. You see the next series that you're already writing, then that should be the season for that.
that's hilarious. That
Oh,
is
that's funny, dude.
that's funny. That's funny. Is there
Nah,
anything?
man.
No, go ahead.
No, that's all I got, man. I'm grateful that you giving me an opportunities to do what I love and what I've grown to really love. And I'm able to grow because of it. So I appreciate it, man.
Nah, man, I appreciate you, man. Thank you again. Um, Man, like I said, I appreciate you not only just have like I said, I appreciate not only just having the opportunity to work with you, but I appreciate our friendship. You are one of the people that will check in from now and again. Like I said, I definitely do not take that lightly. So I just appreciate you for being who you are.
Man, I do check in. I'm like, bro, what you doing? You like that? I'm like, I'm just checking on you. It's Monday. I know. Like, just seeing what you doing. It don't even be no long conversation. I just be making sure you straight, man. Because sometimes
Nah,
that's what people be needing sometimes. And then I know
yeah,
I'll start the conversation and I forget that I even started.
but now that you explained why, then now that makes
Yeah.
sense. So that way, I won't write angry Facebook messages about you.
Man, that's funny. Because Reed
I'm
be
just
doing, she's
playing.
like, I'll message you.
I don't do that no more. I don't do that no more. I'm
Nah,
just
no, those subliminals be about me. I'm like, it's either me or Jessica he talking about because she don't respond back to nothing either.
I'm just playing. I don't do that no more. I've been delivered from that.
He said no more. That's funny. I get it. But yeah, I do man, I don't like that ding or doo doo. I don't like none of that shit. I'd be like silent.
That's what's up, man. All right. Thank you so much for taking the time out to talk with me and ending our VPN chats for 2024, man. Appreciate you, man. Best wishes to you in your future journeys and all your future projects that you have going on that you are working on.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. That you're gonna come help me with if I need help. You're a couple 10 digits away. I'll just text you.
If again if you need uh a comforting word, if you need some moral support, I will drive to where
Oh
you
man.
I will even drive to where you are just to say, "Hey man, I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for
I
you."
appreciate that. Hey, he's standing on business like absolutely not. I had to made my mind up. I'm not going back. I respect that. However,
Oh man.
oh man.
All right, y'all. That is
Uh,
it. Thank y'all again for tuning in. And until the next time, we'll see y'all on the next VPN chat. Peace.
Appreciate it. Peace out.